So we love starting with something about nature and animals, and this really shows God's creation. As the scripture says, for since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what he has made, so that men are without excuse. Romans 1:20. His creation all around us shows that he lives and he made it.
When we started catching waves, he would walk up to the nose, hang out there like he was hanging 10.
Jumps from the board in the water. If I am in the water, he just come to me and then swim back to the board.
Hokulea loves what Hawaii has to offer. He's just enjoying the surroundings and enjoying the motion of the ocean as we are too. Even when we'd be in the shower, he'd get curious and want to jump in the shower with us. Didn't seem to mind any water or splashes, and he just wanted to be close to us. We noticed that he would just go outside, even if it was pouring out rain, and come in soaking wet.
We were kind of amazed to see this behavior from a cat.
So that's when we decided, hey, we have a lot in common. Maybe he likes the beach too. So we had to find a beach that was virtually empty, nice calm water, got him to the water's edge, and he warmed right up to it. And then we saw that he could naturally swim well. I had my surfboard there, so I placed him on the board and I paddled out to the small waves and just caught a wave at first laying down. And he seemed to enjoy the ride. From there, we slowly got him more comfortable and eased him into it. So I wanted to build a little home for him that he could feel safe. After he graduated from the boogie bed, he definitely got more comfortable on the board. He started walking up and down and jumping in on the water on his own.
He knows what he can do now. So he's getting kind of cocky sometimes, and he's very fast. It's almost faster than me when he swims. So since he doesn't mind the water, Hawaii was the perfect place for him to be.
Guys, work for people that inspire you. Get friends that inspire you. Associate with people that uplift you, that energize you. They don't sap you with energy and always talking about their problems and negativity, but are talking about their dreams and their future. Look at this old gentleman singing Flower of Scotland, the national anthem of Scotland, the energy and pride they have for their nation.
The Flower of Scotland.
Guys, a big part of happiness is linking up with people who see life the same as you, who love what you do, who love to do what you do. Look at these soccer players, tennis players, sports people. They've linked up with people who love what they do. That is so important.
Who has won the European Championship for Portugal? Their Heartakers hosts 12 years ago.
Chen Long, the two-time world champion, becomes the Olympic champion. (21:18, 21:18). What a performance.
Guys, you fill the stadiums, you make me nervous, you make me go out and practice. I love you guys. Thank you.
Look at this Olympic athlete where she was injured and her quest for Olympic gold. Her ankle or foot was sore, I don't know which one, but her coach motivated her and told her, you can, fight through the pain, you can do it. Find people that uplift you, that encourage you, that energize you.
Take it out. You can do it.
And then find something bigger than yourself to live for. A great goal, doing it for your family, doing it for your country. And then infinitely number one, doing it for the kingdom of God. You must work and spend your life in a project that is bigger than yourself. Bigger than money, bigger than your own kingdom that you want to build. Build it for the kingdom of God. Look at this weightlifter lifting this incredible weight in, I think he won Olympic gold, for his wife that passed away. He is doing something for a bigger purpose, running a goal and striving for something that is far bigger than him. Entrepreneurship is not only a mindset but a skill set. I heard a very famous businessman say, you're not born an entrepreneur, you are made. You can learn the skills to become an entrepreneur out of whatever passion you have. I was fortunate enough to partner up with an amazing young lady, Leon, in developing small pieces of land into farms, putting up fences, drilling boreholes, getting water, developing the land into agricultural land and then reselling it. But watch how we started. We started very small with a small hydroponic unit, learning how to grow things in the small before we started spending a lot of money jumping into the big. Here we're testing various fertilizers to make sure we can grow the plants very, very well before we buy the farm, so that if we can't, we haven't wasted a lot of money.
End of week 2 / going into week 3, and Atlas is the winner this week. Look how beautiful these leaves are compared to the ones next to them. They seem a little bit bigger. Here's the EHDG ones, and then Amazon. And then these are starting to look a bit better, but still not as good.
Here is one of the pieces of land we went to look at. Extremely beautiful, but watch how we started. We started small, with a small hydroponic unit before buying the farm.
Wow, dis is regtig baie mooi.
Guys, listen to this quote. If you don't have big dreams and goals, you'll end up working for someone else that does. Follow your dreams, follow your goals, be brave enough to take action.
This is a low-risk business that could make you $1,500, $1,000, thousands of dollars a month. My friend Kate bought a plot of land just like this for $10,000.
Okay, so $10,000 isn't that much for land. Obviously, that's like 190,000 Rand, less than most cars.
With that $10,000, she's made $1,500 a month in her first 90 days.
So making 1,500 Rand a month, it means she's going to pay off the $10,000 of the farm in approximately, 7 months, within a year. And then she can buy the next property and even a bigger piece of property and do that again.
Now she's making much more than that. This is a story of how you can do the exact same thing. A group of friends and I were going to Zion National Park, and we were, last minute kind of planning the trip. And quickly we realized that all the national park campsites were completely taken. No room anywhere. We had been driving for like 8 or 9 hours. We were exhausted. All the hotels were full. We're like, what are we gonna do? And one of my more industrious friends, Joe, came up with this idea. He's like, I'm gonna look around for campsites. I'm like, hey bud, I just did that for an hour. None of them are available. And he's like, I bet there are private campsites. Turns out he's right. And what he found was there was a cattle rancher right outside Zion National Park. Beautiful location. And he had 10 campsites available. So we went over there for like $75. We got ourselves a campsite for the night. It was glorious. There was no trash. There were no other people around us, just us, the stars, and those red rocks. And that's when I realized, wait a second, is there a business here? So I flagged down one of the ranch hands, and he told me that they actually make more money on the campsites now than they do on the cattle. This got me thinking, how could I own my own plot of land just like that? That's when I hit up my friend Kate Hancock and said, show me your ways. Right here, this spot of land could be worth $150 a night to you. That is if you do hipster camping, which is what we're talking about. Turning this plot of land into a campground because it happens to be next to a national park. National parks are visited by millions of people a year all across the country.
Look at these sites. In 2021, this is obviously for America, the National Park Service received 297 million recreation visits. That is a huge amount of people.
Right here, this spot of land could be worth $150 a night to you. Turning this plot of land into a campground because it happens to be next to a national park. National parks are visited by millions of people a year all across the country. Except look at this. While you don't see anybody here, if you were to go to a KOA or a public run campsite, they're full. You can't get in. Wait lists for days. And what's gonna happen during a recession? It's going to be even worse because in a recession, we can't go flitting off to Europe like you saw your friends do with their summer Greece videos. Families need to go somewhere to get away from it all every now and then. But what if you could make money off of bringing people together closer to home?
So old Kate decided she wanted a business that was low maintenance, low cost, low risk, and didn't have much wear and tear. A plot of literal dirt appears to hit those parameters.
I thought there was no way you could buy land for $10,000 near a national park.
Turns out the joke was on me.
She bought 3 acres for $10K. You can see a bunch of them like this here. And there exists these exact same thing all across these other national parks. The part that's fascinating is she bought this, she checked checked out the zoning to make sure they allowed for camp permits, and then realized that in this area you were allowed about 10 campers per acre. But she basically put this thing on HipCamp. This is what HipCamp is, by the way.
I also love this site. HipCamp, you can list campsites everywhere. It comes with $1 million insurance policy automatically.
And HipCamp and Airbnb allow you to pick out campsites that are private residences and go throw up your tent.
Come check out my tent. I got my TV, my Xbox, DVD. It's like I'm not even camping.
Now, when I'm modeling out how much money I can make, there are some assumptions that I have baked into this. Here's what they are. For every 1 acre, you can have 10 campsites. That means that if we take that $50 to $150 cost, it's not just that we could assume 30 to 60% occupancy of each individual campsite, it's that we could take 3 acres times by 10 people per campsite and assume 30 to 60% of those are filled each year. This is when we're getting into tens of thousands a month as opposed to 1,000. I went and talked to 15 different owners of these campsite properties. 10 of them have one person check out their property 1 time per week to make sure not trash, parties, etc. So let's say that Kate lists her place for $50 a night. Let's say she does that 365 days. She has at least one person in there. Why that many days? Because technically she has 3 acres, and thus she can have 10 campsites on them. So it could be 30 people. So I think this is super reasonable to assume she could have at least one person a night. If you take out the costs, such as a 3% Airbnb tax, property taxes, having some one-off costs, her total profit is about $15-20. Doesn't that look nice? I have great handwriting. So $15-20 a month. But at the end of the day, let's say that she's making about $1,300 to $1,400 a month off one person every single day. Ooh, how about this? Her new model is a little bit different. Now she charges $150 x 365 one person equals about $57K a year that she would make. And if we break that down on a monthly basis, she's actually making more like $4,562 a month. This is on one campsite. Now, if you could imagine that on average she gets 5 to 10, which is what she says she does, this starts looking pretty profitable. All right, this is how I'm going to do this. I bought some land, just like Kate. Here's what I'm going to do. Listed on Airbnb and HipCamp, like I do my other properties. I have somebody local who's managing the property for it. All they do is take 10% straight of any of the total revenue that we bring in. We're gonna build a barn dominium, which basically looks like this. This eventually will rent out for a lot more, and long term I think I wanna put an RV park located on there too. Now Kate's looks like this now, totally different. She has an Airstream on it, she has platforms on it, and now she's revving more like 6 figures on this location. Also, spoiler alert, Joshua Tree is not the best place to do this these days. In fact, I would not recommend that at all. It's gotten a bunch of crazy zoning in it. It's expensive now. You can't find those 10K plots, but there's a ton of other spots all over the country where you can. The last thing that I'd say is you really need somebody to make sure that they can take amazing pictures, just like any Airbnb location. You need to tell a story. This isn't just about the money you're going to make. This is about the freedom that you're going to provide. It's about the reminder of this huge, abundant world we've been given. It's about leaving a footprint here that can be remembered, a legacy. That's why this video matters to me. It's why this video matters, I think, to each of you, because this isn't just a campsite. This is a memory. So what memories are you going to make?
So as she said earlier, build a unique story as well. Here, this hotel in Kenya, I think, is famous for these giraffes coming in and having a snack off your table. Like, you can incorporate nature and animals. Even in Devane, London, we have Springbok, which is amazing. You can also attract birds to your farm, putting out feeders and food for birds and attract them, and people will love that, being out in nature.
Okay, I'm going to try my, oh my goodness, it's a male mountain velvet breast. You're one of my targets for today, and here you are perched on my finger. You're so pretty. Oh, I love you.
And look at this resort where these wild wolves come past. It just adds so much more. If you can attract animals, attract them to your farm. People will love it. Eat, sleep, change, lives, repeat. Remember, your business, at the core of your business, must not just be making money, but changing people's lives for the better, your employees and your products and services for your customers and clients. And then once again, entrepreneurship is not only a mindset but a skill set. You can learn entrepreneurship. You can learn how to do it. You don't have to be born with it.
Man, she's carrying on that family tradition, being the daughter of a world champion. Both brothers been to the national finals. Her husband as well has been there. And she is a force to be reckoned with. Let's go to one of the most talented horsewomen and ropers that we are going to meet tonight. This is Hope Thompson. Watch this horse bury up. Randy, you know the numbers. This was the most entered event of any competition of RFD TV's The American Rodeo.
Well, let's put that in perspective. 435 different contestants, different cowgirls showed up in Fort Worth. They all got the rope twice. That's over 900 runs, and then over half of them bought back for a third opportunity. Let's watch the Louisiana cowgirl joining us for the first time in AT&T. She's already earned a little spending money. As a matter of fact, she picked up...
Rope wasn't even clear when she was looking back. She said the deal. The rope wasn't clear. She was checking to give me that barrier. Gav jumped on her a little bit right there, and you see that. She's like, hey.
In order to become the 1%, you'll have to do what the other 99% aren't prepared to do. Listen to this guy talk and give out some tough love. You know, good friends, people that care about you, are prepared to tell you what you must improve on as well as inspiring you and complimenting you, but also telling you what you need to improve on. It's interesting, people that just give people compliments and never prepared to tell them what problems they have or what they should improve on can be the cruelest people at the end of the day. Because the fact of life is we need to work hard. We need to be disciplined. Otherwise, we will not have success.
How many of you are 100% satisfied with every single area of your life? I mean 100% satisfied with every single area of your life. How many of you right now? One person. The rest of you, you're lying. You're 100% satisfied with your life exactly the way it is, otherwise it would be different. Your life's the way it is because that's the way you want it to be. And people go, Larry, That's how it really is. There's an old saying, it goes ready, willing, and able. How many people are ready to be more successful? Everybody says, oh, you bet. How many people are able to be more successful? Every single one of you is able to be more successful. Isn't that right? How many people are willing to be more successful? Let me tell you right now, not very many. I see people stand in line and buy a book. Love them. I appreciate it when they all buy mine. But I can tell you right now, it doesn't make any difference. You all stood in line today to buy people's stuff, and let me tell you right now, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't. You're going, oh, Larry, don't tell me that now. I spent a lot of money today. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, and here's why. While everybody can be more successful, very few people will be more successful. That's what it really comes down to, because they're not willing to do whatever it takes. You got to be willing to take action on whatever it takes.
So some quotes on the left-hand side: you get what you work for, not what you wish for. It's not what you wish for, it's what you work for. And then on the right there, you get what you give. You can't expect to get better at anything if you don't give the effort, and intelligent effort at that. So my daughter and Stefani and Jenna Lee had a discussion the other day where my daughter said that why did God make women weaker than men? Now, obviously there's a lot of things going around, like this one's cleverer than that one, and this one's weaker than that one, and that one's faster than that one. But it really comes down in a big way to this sentence: freaking hard work. Do you guys remember that? So if you want to be cleverer, like the mind is a muscle, develop your mind, read, learn new things. If you want to be stronger, you got to train your body. Watch these girls. These girls are stronger than most men. If you want to get stronger, work at it. If you want to get cleverer, develop your mind, learn a whole lot of new things and skills. It comes down to how hard you work at it. God designed the principle of sowing and reaping. You can't expect to be stronger if you aren't doing specific training every day. And if a girl does that, she can get stronger than most men.
Last week, I spoke very briefly to Toma Loredana from Romania, the world champion 2017, four-time European champion. 2017, her best lifts 109, 128. The following year, 110, 131. Then 112, 128, though she did attempt a personal record at 132. 113, 136. And then 114 kilos in 2021. She was a 64 kilo lifter there.
Listen again here what this guy says. She's a 64 kilogram lifter. The girl only weighs 64 kilograms as a grown woman. That is not very... It's not like a giant, some kind of woman that's a giant. She's fairly average. And she's lifting these weights. Guys, you will reap what you sow. It's hard, specific work in whatever field you want to improve.
115 kilos. That's a brilliant lift. But she's been working a lot on her leg strength. So here we have, this was July of last year. This is 170 kilos for a double. We can kind of watch as her lifts have progressed. I mean, that is so smooth. That's 100 kilos, might be 105 if there's collars in there.
Recently, she squatted 324 pounds for 3 reps with a pause. Her best number in the squat is 1 rep with 400 pounds. This is a very impressive performance in the high bar squat. Her body weight makes it even more impressive. Julia is a very successful weightlifter with 4 consecutive European championships. She is 20 years old and still very young.
JJ, the wrist, JJ.
Come.
Yeah, that's it, JJ. You're out. You lose. Sorry, guys. Come on, transfers to JT. You have to give it. There you go. One more time, just do. Come on, JT. There you go. That's awesome. Come on, JT. Good job. Get it with a hook. See? One more time. No kidding. Come on, David. That hook doesn't work here.
You record me on the right. Record me on the right.
Oh, that's nasty. Very, like, so.
Remember, guys?
I just want a picture.
Well, take me a picture.
Guys, now in grappling, this is full-on grappling fighting, submission fighting, where you literally, the guy has to tap out, otherwise you'll break their arm, break their fingers, toes, whatever. So we can see full-on submission fighting here with a guy against a girl. Look how much bigger the guy is than the girl. The girl absolutely destroys him. Shame at the end, the guy's almost like crying. They almost have to carry him off. If you want to be stronger than someone, girl, boy, child, man, wife, whatever, you have to work for it. Freaking hard work. Remember those words. You don't just get it. If you work harder, if you train harder, you will become stronger, cleverer than other people.
Fight!
So guys, not all of you might know what's going on here, but in submission fighting, and submission fighting is what most fighting turns into, because people, those of you interested in unarmed combat, most people start punching, but then they grab each other and they land on the ground, and then the submission fighters win. She had his arm in a lock there, And what you do is you grab an arm, finger, ankle, whatever, and you bend it till it breaks. But obviously the guy taps out before it breaks. But look at the pain the guy's in. You as a girl can be stronger than a guy. You can be cleverer. It depends on the amount of specific, intelligent work you put in per week.
Step 4! Yeah! Run away forward!
Guys, it's time to talk some strategy. Who are you becoming? If nothing changes, nothing changes. Who do you want to become one day? What business you want to be in? Take action. Take action every day, or do one small thing every day. Learn one new thing every day, taking you step for step in that direction. Plant seeds every day, which can become a tree in whatever way you want to grow or who you want to become. Look at this guy who does, I think he does also maybe helicopter tourism, where he flies to remote places on beaches and along the shore, fishing and diving and experiencing nature. Turn your passions into a job.
Welcome to a helicopter catch and cook. That's the one I've been looking for. Let's get back to the chopper. We're going to explore along this rugged, remote coastline, bringing you guys with us. Let's let it go. As we moved further down the coastline, it started to open up. Beautiful white sandy beaches, blue water, and the chopper pilot said to me, anywhere along here we can land. All the gear's in these cages on the side of the chopper. I will give you a little bit of a tour of the chopper a bit later on in the video, so hang around for that. But for now, I need to get in the water because I'm absolutely so excited. This is what I live for, exploring untouched remote ground. So in the carry bag, I've got all my dive gear. Collected some little sticks there. We bring a bit of wood of our own because we're trying to minimize how much we take from around the beaches and the land and stuff. So after this, for the next few days, we've heard of some rumors of the most crystal clear, beautiful water in a remote lake on a salt pan, and there's so much else to explore along the way.